Hi guys, my name is Chris Old. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you 5 ways to impress your clients when you meet them for the first time. Today's video is brought to you by Sal Digital. If you visit the link in my description box, you can get a €20 voucher right now on their website by filling out this simple form. If you watch my recent video on 5 ways to find new clients, which you can see here or here, I talked about how to find new clients in your market. Today we're going to discuss how to impress those clients the first time you meet them. So first and foremost, it goes without saying, preparation. It's essential you prepare for any client meeting to make sure you make the best first impression with them. Simple things like travel distances, see how long it's going to take you to travel to that client, make sure there's alternatives if there's a road that's going to be closed or if there's certain disruption on the roads, or even if the weather's bad. So you know exactly how long it's going to take you to get there, and make sure you're there in plenty of time so you can have a little rest, have a think about what you're going to talk about, and then arrive at the meeting full of confidence. Make sure you do the research on their business. So as part of this preparation, go and find out about the business, go and do some research. If you're going in to shoot a specific project, have a look at the stuff they've done before so you've got really good content that you can talk about during the meeting. And if you know who you're going to be meeting, do a little bit of research on them, find them on LinkedIn, Google them if need be, and find out who they are, find out what they look like, so when you meet them for the first time, you can go and introduce yourself very confidently without wondering if it's the right person. And make sure you dress appropriately, but not unfamiliar. So on the most part, I'm a very casually dressed photographer. I generally wear a shirt and a pair of chinos or jeans. And if I need to dress that up a little bit, I'll stick a jacket on top. But what you don't want to do is go along in a suit if that's not something you usually wear. You want to stay as comfortable as possible and make sure you're as comfortable as possible during your meeting. So creating dialogue in a meeting is really important, especially when you first meet them. What you don't always do is jump straight into business. You want to have some level of small talk just to get a sense of that person on how you can talk to them for the rest of the meeting. So a little trick I've got for this is I'll generally ask people 3 questions. I don't just reel them off straight away. I try and build this into conversation a little bit. Things like, do you live locally? How long have you been with this company? And did you have a nice weekend, or do you have any plans for this weekend? Now what I'm looking for here is some common ground. So if this person says back to me, oh yeah, I stood in the rain watching my kids play football all weekend, straight away I've got something I've got in common that I can start talking to them about. Big thing to remember is here, people buy from people. So if you can create some human element to this meeting without it all being about the product or all about the service, it's much easier to get that person on your side. Take notes. So make sure you're taking notes throughout your meeting. Even if you think you've caught all the information, it's really important to have something, first of all, to look back on. But secondly, when you're meeting with someone and you're not taking notes, how do you know they're paying attention to you? Now, I always advise people to do this with a pen and paper rather than with an iPad or a phone, because if I'm looking down at an iPad typing, I look like I'm looking down at an iPad typing. Whereas if I'm taking notes, I can be looking up and down at the person. Most people can write without looking at the page when they're writing, so you can create that eye contact constantly throughout the meeting, even though you're taking notes. It really helps to show that person you are listening to what they're saying, you do value what they say. Now the advantage with taking notes like that is you can recall information back to the person you're meeting. So yeah, can I just confirm that this is the date you want to go ahead, or this is the date that you have for a deadline? Can I just confirm this? Can I just confirm that? And it really helps that person know that you've listened to what they're saying and you've got everything down there, so there's no 2 ways about it. You know the exact information and they know you know it too. Don't be afraid to say no. So think about that for a moment. Now you're an expert at what you do, and the chances are that person you're meeting, certainly for a commercial job, is an expert at what they do. You need to be very clear on what your abilities are and certainly what you can't do. So if you think something's unachievable, say no. Or better yet, give another idea to that client on what they can do. So for instance, if someone says to me, we want a group shot of 600 people in a small room, my first answer is going to be, well, no, that's not going to be achievable, but we could do it outside in these sort of circumstances. So don't be afraid to say no, but where you can, offer alternatives. But know your limitations. If you know you can't do something, if you know there's a certain type of shot you can't achieve, or a certain type of technique you can't use, don't bluff the client, because you will get found out later down the line. So how you present your portfolio is really important. Now the way I do this is print media. I used to take iPads along to meetings or try and use my laptop, but what I found was, especially if I was meeting someone outside, there'd be too much glare on the screen, or if my battery died or something like that, I was up the creek without a paddle essentially. So what I did, I went to Sal Digital and I've got 3 portfolios made, one for food photography, one for headshots and one for commercial product work. Now the reason I've got 3 different portfolios made, so when I go to meet a client, I'm not looking like a jack of all trades, a master of none. I've got a specialist portfolio for each of the product ranges I offer in commercial work. Now I use a 10x8 photo book as the one you see here. This one's showing all the different headshots I've shot for different clients. Now I've included a range of different shoots, about 20 to 30 images in there, so it's not too long for people to look through, but it means I can talk in detail about each little shoot I've done and relate it to the client on what would work and what wouldn't work for them. Now I went for a really professional leather bound folder here. I want this to feel nice, I want it to look nice, so when the client gets it in their hands, it feels like a premium product. Print media is such a valued tool that photographers have these days because I think everything's online, or it's all digital, or it's all here, or it's all there. Being able to present a client when you meet them with this, particularly if there's more than one person, means they've got something to look at as you talk, and much the same as when you're taking notes, they can be looking at images and looking back at you, which keeps that contact interaction going throughout the shoot. So there you have it guys, so 5 very simple tips, but hopefully they'll help you the next time you go to meet a commercial client to help make sure you get that job. Thank you so much for watching today. If you like what you've seen, don't forget to subscribe, leave me a thumbs up, and certainly don't forget to comment. And don't forget to visit that link below so you can get your voucher for Sal Digital.